So there's a couple of things that I felt like I needed to talk about tonight. We'll go through one at a time. First of all, tomorrow's Mother's Day, or today, because you're seeing this video on Mother's Day, but I'm shooting it last night. I'm shooting it now, but what you're seeing is last night. The future somehow, you know what I mean. I recorded it last night, but you're seeing it today. Today is Mother's Day. Mother's Day is very complicated for me. I was adopted. I was fostered before that. And so I never really felt this way before I worked on this trilogy of mine for the last 17 years. And you know, sometimes I actually feel disrespectful saying this, but I now feel like I have two mothers. But let me clarify that the mother that I learned about over the last 17 years, she could never replace the mother who raised me, my adoptive mother, Phyllis Wilk. Like, she's my mom. She's the one who raised me, who put up with me. I was an asshole much of my life to her. She put up with a lot. I was not an easy kid. I'm not an easy adult. But we didn't have a very good relationship when I was young, but after my father died, we got very close. And I'm really grateful for that. And I'm grateful for her, and I miss her like crazy all the time, especially on Mother's Day and on her birthday and stuff like that. And so tomorrow, you could be sure I'm going to find a black and white cookie in her honor, because she loved black and white cookies. And actually, she knew that I loved black and white cookies, and she always got them for me on, you know, birthdays and stuff like that. So anyway, I'll find one tomorrow. The mother who I found out about, my birth mother, the person whose body I came out of, which still is like astounding to me. It's crazy. You know, when I was a baby, I thought there was a baby store, and I thought everybody was adopted, and that's a whole other story, and I'm not going to get into that now, but I'll get into that a little bit later. I wanted to make this video today, first of all, to say Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers. Happy Mother's Day to everybody who has a mother. Happy Mother's Day to those who don't know their mother. Happy Mother's Day to everybody who feels any kind of way about mothers and motherhood. You know, motherhood has become like a big thing to me over the last decade and a half. And yeah, I think that mothers are the superheroes of the world. And I actually think that women are the superheroes of the world, you know, because even women who did not become mothers, I feel like they are mothers to society, because I mean, I've always felt this way, because when I was a little kid, I thought my grandmother was God. And I actually had an argument with a teacher when I was in first grade, because she said something about God, and I told her, that's my grandmother. And she got mad at me, and we had this whole thing. And anyway, that's pretty funny. But, you know, obviously, I always thought very highly of women. Every really significant person in my life, I would have to say, have been women. You know, mentors. I mean, I've had male role models in my life too, but I think the women have made the biggest impression on me. And in fact, most of my close friends are women. So yeah, Mother's Day is very special to me. And so I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to everybody. And treat the mothers well, treat the women well tomorrow and every day, actually. They're going through a lot. They always go through a lot. The misogyny in this world is just, you know, it makes me want to puke all the time. It's just horrific. And now, more than ever in our lifetime, it's like we're living the Handmaid's Tale. It's very dangerous. So anyway, take care of the women, because they've been taking care of us forever, and they continue to do so every day. They're incredibly powerful. And we, as a society, and as the male part of society, we owe them a lot. So happy Mother's Day, first of all. Second thing I wanted to talk about was I wanted to prepare the followers of my channel for a video that I'm about to put out. I'll probably put it out in a day or two, probably 2 or 3 days, because I'm putting this one out now. So I'm going to wait a couple of days. But I made a video that I really like that is kind of, it's a video about me finding my why. Like, why do I do things? Why do I make art? Why am I a playwright and a performing artist and a filmmaker and an actor and a musician? Like, why? What do I hope to get out of it? What's my intention? What do I want people to get out of it? Like, what is my why? Because I happen to think that is probably the most important thing when it comes to anything in your life. Like, why are you doing it? I think sometimes you have to really stop and question your intentions, your desires, what's behind it? Where are you going? Where are you? And where are you headed? And where do you hope to wind up? I mean, I guess some people would say, hey, what's wrong with just taking a leap of faith and just going? I once was in a workshop, it was a poetry workshop, a writing workshop, and somebody, I don't remember what the facilitator was talking about, but they asked me what I write about, and I said I always hope to write about something meaningful, something contributing. Like, I feel like as an artist, we have a great opportunity to kind of raise the bar of humanity, and get people to like think about things that they don't generally think about, and kind of disrupt people out of this day-to-day laziness that we live in, especially in this country, because we're so spoiled and so privileged in this country. I feel like as an artist, I have a great opportunity, and in my opinion, a responsibility to try to do something that contributes to a better world, because, frankly, in my opinion, the world has sucked forever. The racism, the misogyny, the homophobia, the xenophobia, the nationalism, like all, the war. We have an opportunity to take difficult things and turn them into something beautiful. And so when I said that, another person in this workshop said, hey, why can't it just be about nothing? Why can't we write about nothing? Just words, just fun, just doing it for no reason at all. And, I guess that's cool if you're into that kind of thing. But I just, personally, that ain't it for me. Like, I don't even get that, I think that's a cop-out, to be honest, but I guess that's just the kind of artist that I am. And perhaps, I'm judging other people, but whatever, I'll stand on that. I just think that's like a waste of time, but that's just me, And I'm not telling anybody what to do or what not to do. That's fine. If you want to do that, that's cool. But I feel like you're kind of missing out on an opportunity, So anyway, that's what my video is about. It's about my why, but it kind of, swayed into some other things too. And it became like a stream of consciousness kind of documentary style interview, phone call, weird kind of thing, which I often do because, I'm a solo theater artist. I'm used to like being 3 different characters at the same time and talking to myself. And in fact, I've been stopped by the cops many, many times on the trains in New York City because they see me in the corner talking to myself and they think I'm crazy, and they offer me shelter and help and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, I'm rehearsing a play, so I just, I swayed into all kinds of stuff, and I love what this video became. And I used the Panasonic GH5. It was also a test for the GH5. I was using the Meike 35mm f1.4 lens, and I'm talking about how, the GH5 is like a powerhouse, like it's a movie-making machine. It's got all the video assist features that you would want, waveforms, vector scopes, zebras, manual focus assist. It's got 4K 60 with a crop, but all right, it's annoying, but still 4K 60. It's got all eye options. It's got full-size HDMI. It's got unlimited 4K recording. It's a beast. It's got log. And honestly, I can get just as good content from the GH5 that I get from my S5, which is a full-frame camera, which is what I'm shooting on right now. And so that's what I started making the video about, a test of Panasonic GH5 with the Meike 35mm, which is a 70mm equivalent because it's a micro four thirds camera. And so what am I preparing you for? I'm preparing you because the video is 47 minutes long. And I'm thinking, like, you know, in this world of, like, you know, short content, you know, TikTok and shorts on YouTube, which I personally hate. I hate them. I don't want to be a part of them. I've made a few just because people are like, yo, you should make some shorts. You know, I'm not on TikTok. I'm not even on Twitter. Like, you know, I am so into long form content. I mean, I feel like I'm more into it than ever because I feel like shorts and, you know, 7-second videos and even 60-second, it's like, I feel like it's destroying our brains. You know, it's not real life. You know, like, real life takes time to develop, you know. And granted, sometimes things happen immediately, but let's face it, if you're blessed enough to live a long time, there's a developmental stage of your life. You know, you're born, you become a child, you grow up, you become a teenager, you become a young adult, you become a middle-aged person. If you're lucky enough, you become older, and things take time to develop. Relationships take time to develop. You know, art certainly takes time to develop. I mean, in my case, like when I write a screenplay or a play and I develop characters, there's like a developmental process, like they have to live, you know, like I have a show called Brooklyn Quartet, and there are 4 characters and we follow them over 20 years of their lives. And so you can't do that in 7 seconds. You know, you can't explain it in 1 minute, or even in my case, you couldn't even explain it in 1 hour. You just can't do it. And, you know, if you're a business person and you're like, yo, this is HBO needs it under 60 minutes, or, you know, if you hope to be on Netflix, it better be under 90 minutes, or if you want to be in that festival. But for me, it's going to be as long as it serves the story, as long as it's necessary. Like, as long as every word is necessary, that's how long it's going to be. But I also recognize that, you know, that's just me, you know. And the world is into short form content. And in fact, we're evolving in that way, you know, which I don't think is a good thing, because I think that kind of lends itself to all of this misinformation that we're dealing with. You know, it's like, you know, people don't have like the ability of critical thinking any longer. They believe whatever the last thing is that they saw, because AI makes things so believable. All the misinformation, all the craziness is just like, we're just receiving things constantly, and it's just one thing after another. Or we're scrolling down the timeline and we're not like sitting down in a story and developing it. And I personally believe if you do that, if you come from that place, it's more likely that you're going to be able to tell the difference between something genuine and something that is bullshit. And so for me, I'm all into, you know, long form work. You know, my favorite play is Angels in America. It's 8 hours long. You know, I just saw Killers of the Flower Moon. That's 3.5 hour long film. Feels like it's 20 minutes to me. You know, I you know, I have to, I mean, I don't want to make this a self-promoting video right now, but I dare you to watch my miniseries Brooklyn Quartet. And, you know, the funny thing is, Brooklyn Quartet as a play on stage, when I do it live, is 2.5 hours long. But I've broken it up into 4 parts to make a miniseries. So it's kind of a marriage between live theater and film. And I feel like we did a pretty good job, you know. Shout out David Diaz, a filmmaker who helped me out with that. But I dare you to watch it and get involved with the characters. Like, get through the first episode, you know, get involved with the language. It's kind of hard to keep up at the beginning. It's like blazing fast. But once you get into it, it's just like you're used to it. You're in that world. I'm kind of creating this space in Brooklyn where you're coming with me, and we're going back 20 years ago. We're going back to 2006 when Sean Bell was shot, and Google that. And we're following these characters from when they're 15 years old all the way to 35 years old. And they're characters that you'll fall in love with them. Like, I love these characters. And I mean, I don't love them like, oh, I wrote them so well. Like, I love them, you know? Because all the characters are based on 4 people that I know personally in my life. So each character is a combination of 4 actual human beings. How they talk, how they think, what they do, what kind of movies they like, what kind of food they like, what kind of sensibility they have, what their integrity is like or lack thereof. Like, it's a combination, all the characters. And it takes place in a neighborhood that I lived in for a long time in Brooklyn, between Bed-Stuy, Clinton Hill, and Fort Greene. And I think that I hope that you will find it unforgettable, that you will see a part of yourselves in each of the characters. That's what I hope for. I want everybody to see a little bit of themselves in each character, you know, and it's 2 boys, one black and one white, and a girl, a Latina, and an angel, who's actually a young girl. And I believe that no matter who you are, a man, a woman, whatever, black, white, Asian, Jewish, Catholic, Protestant, Christian, whatever, you will see a piece of yourself in each of these characters. I make that guarantee, if you give it a chance. But you have to commit to it. And how about this? I dare you to watch my movie, The Center of Distance, which I shot during the pandemic, which is kind of a love letter to the Bronx, but it's also the story of my biological mother. And it is a story that is astounding, that is unbelievable, that nobody should have to go through a life like this. But somehow it's a story of resilience, because she became this joyful character that everybody loved. But the first description I ever got of her from her first cousin, who knew her when she was a little kid, because she was actually placed in an orphanage when she was 8 years old. She lost her mother when she was 3 years old, and her father died when she was 8. She was put in an orphanage. The first description I ever got of her was that she was difficult and rough, you know, and she was tough, man. She was depressed and difficult kid. But then I met people who knew her as an adult, a grown woman, you know, they knew her for 24 years. And she was this funny character, crazy. Everybody loved her. You know, she was like the mayor of the Upper East Side. I talked to all these doormen that knew her, and I met her best friend, and I met the man who she worked for and who lived with, you know, where she lived. And, you know, she was friends with these celebrities at this gym she used to swim at, and, you know, but she endured a lot. You know, her story is crazy. So I dare you to watch that film, because it's 2 hours and 7 minutes. It's not a TikTok video, you know, it's long form video. So I dare you to watch it, because I think you will fall in love with her. And you'll also get to know me quite a bit. You know, you'll definitely know me a lot better than I know you. Let's put it that way. And the music by Steve Peckman, shout out, unbelievable. You'll think I hired Ennio Morricone to do the score of the film. So I highly recommend it, and I dare you. And you know what? The Center of Distance is on multiple streaming platforms, but I'm going to tell you where you could find it for free. Right here at YouTube. Just go to my YouTube channel. There's a link in my description. The Center of Distance is here at YouTube for free. I don't really tell many people about it. It's gotten like, I don't know, almost 2,000 views here. But sometimes if I think somebody is not willing to pay $3.99 or whatever at Tubi TV, I just tell them it's here for free. Brooklyn Quartet, free here at YouTube. Links in my description, or go to brooklynquartet.com or rockwolf.com. I dare you. I'm telling you, it will enrich your life. I promise you. Or that was my intention. So, having said all of that, I cut this video into 3 parts because, you know, YouTube and the modern world and shorts and TikTok and all this crap that I can't stand, I cut it into 3 parts. So I made it into 3 approximately 15-minute videos. So you'll see a lot of beautiful B-roll, and you'll see me going back and forth doing some interesting conversational stuff and testing the Micro Four Thirds Lumix GH5 camera with the Meike 35mm f1.4 lens, which is an incredible lens that I got for $75, but I digress. But so this video, or these videos, is like a whole lot of stuff. You know, it's like me doing me, you know, having a conversation, being the solo artist that I am. It's also me being a filmmaker, putting it together. And, you know, it almost feels like a documentary. I mean, it's not a documentary, but it kind of feels like one. It really looks beautiful. Like the GH5 is just sick. It's incredible. So there's a lot there that I think you'll enjoy, you know. And I broke it down into 3 parts because I was afraid nobody would watch the whole thing, because I thought you would look at it, see the thumbnail, and it would say 47 minutes. You'd be like, oh, hell no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release 3 episodes. And then probably in a few weeks, I'll release the full version, because I hope people will watch the whole thing. But I'm not going to release that anywhere close to these 3 episodes, because I don't want people to have to pick and choose, and that's too confusing. But I'm going to put out episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. I'll space them like a day or 2 apart, something like that. And so I just wanted to prepare you, because you're here at my channel. You're so kind to be following me, and I really appreciate that. And I just wanted to let you know that I am trying to think of my audience and what people like and what they would prefer. But at the same time, I'm trying to be totally transparent and honest and tell you personally, nah, I'm not, I don't even look at TikTok, and I hate shorts. I don't look at shorts on YouTube or Instagram or anything like that. I don't scroll around. I watch movies, I watch TV shows, I watch series, for me, like when I watch a series, 1 hour episode is not enough for me. Once I get involved with the exposition of the story and it starts to grow and develop, I want more, and it's hard for me to stop, I don't like this quick stuff and then I'm off to something else in my life. I don't think we're retaining anything to consider it, to feel it, to decide how we feel about it, what we think about it, and apply it to what's going on around us. You know what I mean? I think that's really dangerous, to be honest with you. I think that we have to relearn how to sit down and enjoy a movie like The Wizard of Oz, or The Godfather, or Goodfellas, or Blazing Saddles if you just want something stupid and funny, or whatever. Dumb and Dumber, if you're into that, go for it. As long, at least it's not 2 minutes. But I'm also not going to be stupid enough to do only what I want to do, and damn everybody else. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. Everybody else be damned. I can't even remember these sayings. So for you and for the modern world, because I am much older than most of you, I cut it into 15-minute segments, and I will put up the full version a couple weeks from now as well. But I just wanted to prepare you, and I love it so much. I think it looks great. I think it's interesting. You might hate it. You might think it's stupid. You might not understand it, but I just wanted to put this video out first. And I also just wanted to acknowledge Mother's Day.